Why hello there, it's Mr. McFlanagan, and I got some free-for-all and COD 4 gameplay for you. But what I want to talk about is Homefront Revolution. I just got the beta today and I was really excited to play it because most of you younger guys never got to play the original Homefront, but it was quite an underrated game. It had a very good single player, and I felt like the multiplayer also was very, very good. It was very different from any game at the time, and it was just a lot of fun. Probably one of the most underrated multiplayer experiences out there. Now, I got home, I got the beta signed up, installed it on my Xbox, and I thought, man, I'm going to watch a couple streams before I play this, see what it's about, see what's going on. And very quickly, I learned that this game is nothing like the original Homefront. First off, there's no multiplayer, absolutely no PvP. They haven't announced any PvP, and to me, that was what I was really interested in because right now, the FPS market on the console to me is very stale, and it would have been nice to have something new to play. And from what I can see, there's no PvP, there's none on the way. This game is just going to be a single-player game. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, maybe it's a really good single-player game. Well, from what I can see, it looks very similar to The Division. Very similar, but with no PvP. I mean, at least in The Division, you can kill people, so there is that option. And from what I've seen, I mean, this is my opinion. You can have your own, I don't care. But the way you level up in The Division looks far more interesting than Homefront. So what is this game really bringing to the table? Maybe it's got amazing graphics and 60 FPS. Maybe that's what it is. I bet that's what you're thinking. And the answer is no. The game runs at 30 FPS. Can you believe it? Another first-person shooter on the Xbox One that runs at 30 frames per second. And to me, in 2016, that is completely unacceptable. I have not played a 30 FPS game, first-person shooter, since, the Halos back on the 360. And back then, it was okay. It was acceptable, It wasn't the best, but, you had to deal with it. And from my point of view, I would much rather take a game where the graphics are toned down a little bit, but can run at 60 FPS. I feel like 30 FPS in 2016 is just completely off base. I mean, how are you going to do this? That was part of the problem for me with Destiny. I feel like Destiny could have been a great game, but I'm not going to play a 30 FPS console game in 2016, And that's nothing against Destiny. I feel like Destiny actually is a far more interesting game than Homefront from what I've seen. It just doesn't look like much. It's a military shooter that you can't play multiplayer in, that looks like it doesn't have any kind of epic loot system or reason to grind the game. This almost seems like a bad joke. Like, this Homefront game almost seems like a cruel joke to the original game. And some of my friends on Twitter are telling me that the game doesn't need multiplayer. Homefront doesn't need multiplayer. If the single player's good, whatever. Who cares about multiplayer? But would you really accept that in any other game? If Call of Duty came out next year and said, you know what, no multiplayer, guys, it's only single player, and we still want $60, and we're still going to charge $60 for a season pass, is that okay with you? Well, to me, that's not okay. That's just absolutely not okay. What if Halo came out next year and said, you know what, we're going to make Halo 6 next year, and it's going to be an RPG, first-person shooter, 30 frames per second with no multiplayer. Is that okay with you guys? Well, to me, I wouldn't buy that game. That sounds crazy because you can't take a game that is known for multiplayer, it had a great single player, but it was known for multiplayer, and be like, listen guys, we're going to strip it down, make it totally single player, charge you $60, and we're also going to make it operate at 30 FPS in 2016, and we expect you guys to buy this. I mean, that just sounds insane. It sounds like a joke. It sounds like a perfect way to throw a bunch of money away, Maybe I'm crazy, but I want to hear what you guys think, because a dear friend of mine, Country Boy John, who I've known for a while, he got shitty with me over this, and I feel like I'm in the right. Maybe I'm not, but I think I'm in the right. I think if you're going to make a game and call it Homefront 2 or Homefront Revolutions, you have to at least give us, comparable to what you gave us in the first game. That's just my thought. But I'm Mr. McFlanagan. I'll see you later.